What's up, you guys? How we doing? Welcome, welcome. I just stubbed my toe literally about 5 seconds ago, so I'm still in pain right now. I went to pick up Peanut and I just hit my toe on the wall, so as we all know, that really hurts. So right now I'm in a bit of pain. I'm just processing the pain without getting mad, hopefully. But hi, guys. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. So good to see you guys. Welcome, welcome. Oh, my goodness. I hope you all had a good week. Last week I was filming, so I couldn't make it. But she's back. Back with a broken toe, apparently. For those of you who just joined, I just stubbed my toe, so I'm still in pain. It's all Peanut's fault. You tell him, Peanut. You tell him, Peanut. Okay. How we doing, guys? Welcome. So good to see you all. How we doing? Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday. So what's been going on, y'all? I don't know about you, but I've had a very intense week. Hey, Jamie. I have not been myself, which is fine. It happens. I've been going through some stuff, and these guys are fighting. I'm gonna have to separate you guys. Enough. Poor little guy. Apparently, I'm gonna have to separate them. Sorry. So yeah, so it's all good, but it's all about changing and upgrading and shifting and doing something about it and not being in your feelings, basically, because it's fine to be in your feelings for a while. But I am very much a believer that we have the power to shift and create and manifest and transform and, and I'm in that place right now. I think also it's important to not be afraid to ask for help sometimes when we're going through something. I think it's important to look at other options. And right now, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Hoffman method. Apparently, it's like a school. I don't know where exactly. It's somewhere in LA and around LA, which basically like they help with a lot of like childhood trauma stuff and family stuff, which is a lot of the stuff that I feel like I need right now. The only problem is the course is not cheap, you know? She's 6 G's, okay? But I think at the end of the day, it's one of those things that I'm just like, I've made up my mind that it's something that I resonated with and that I want to do. So money's going to show up somehow. So I know I'm sharing that, just maybe an encouragement for you guys to invest in yourself and invest in your mental health as well, because this can really change things for you. It changes your relationship with yourself. It changes your relationship with others. And it's very, very important to invest in that because nothing beats that. You know what I mean? You can't make money. One of the things that I think it's one of my blocks is this problem that I have. And I know if I don't address it and if I don't tackle it, I can only get so far. And I love this guy called Master Shahani. I think I talk about him a lot. He always talks about everybody needs a master, everybody needs a teacher at some point, because that is how somebody passes the key to you so that you can walk through that door. So there's a lot of work that you definitely should do on your own, but definitely don't be afraid to ask for help no matter what level you're at, no matter how far you've gone. And be careful, I think, of like assuming that you also, why would you want to do it on your own? Because it's a lot harder, by the way. I mean, it can be done. I think it's just going to take you longer and it's going to be much harder. Why not take advantage? And when it comes to money, guys, that can definitely be a massive block, but trusting that the money will come back somehow, I think it's the most important thing. Again, I feel like investing in yourself is the most important thing that you can ever do. So, on that note, I hope you're all doing well. Let's dive in. So I'm going to give you guys a group reading as always. Welcome, Nicola. Good to see you. Hi, Johnny. So I'm going to start off with the group reading as always. And then if people give donations, essentially you lock your position in, you get a longer reading. If not, no problem. I'm still going to take questions. So we'll just see how it goes, how it flows. So welcome, guys. So good to see you. Hi. Okay. Hi. Okay. I'm mentally okay, I think. So I'm going to have my tea today. I've decided to drink chamomile tea to calm me down. Okay, jokes aside though. All right, so let's take a minute, guys. Inviting your spiritual team to send me energy. And just connecting to you. So this is a reading for the collective, for everybody. And I have just bought myself, by the way, a new one of my oracle decks. I bought myself one because I have a lot of them, but I have been using the samples. So today I'm using my own fresh cards because I lost a deck somehow, one of my samples, and somebody has them now. And that was the other one that I used, so I needed two. Okay. Let's see what's coming up for the collective. For those of you just joined. Oh my gosh. Okay, so much is coming up. You tell them, Peanut. Okay. I love this. Okay. So the first card that we got is the High Priestess. Yes, Jamie, the sample with the awesome mistake. I know, somebody got the shapeshitter. They're going to probably like get these awesome cards. These are awesome. And then they're going to see all the spelling mistakes. It's going to be hilarious. Then we have cautious progress. And then the star. I love a star. Who doesn't love a star? Okay. So when it comes to the High Priestess, okay, so something about this card immediately just gave me some information about something. It's like tuning in, receiving messages from your higher self. So oftentimes, guys, when we think of messages from a higher self, we always think of these messages as like beautiful and fluffy and everything's great and everything's amazing. And that, yes, can be that for some of you. But for some of us, for example, like myself right now, the messages that are coming through, I think are also things like lessons and things that we're ready to heal and move on from, the blocks, the things that are in the way. Also, we're coming at the end of the year, guys. So a lot of emotions come to the surface, a lot of ending of the year, processing the year, what I did and didn't achieve, what I could have, shoulda, woulda, and then what's to come, right? Putting the pressure on ourselves on the next year and what am I going to do and all this sort of stuff. So what I'm hearing here essentially is like our higher selves are basically like helping us out with this processing and helping us out on how we can bring that information down from like a much higher place as opposed to from the lower frequencies, which is like, I didn't do it, I didn't achieve, negative thinking basically. And even though sometimes this downloads or this information may come up as a negative thing, if it's negative, which is what I'm thinking for myself right now, it's like, this is stuff that needs to be dealt with. This is stuff that can no longer keep moving forward in the next following years, because this is the stuff that it's not going to help you evolve. If you want to get from here to here, if this thing in you is still vibrating and it's still living in there, you cannot shift because you're vibrating at this frequency. So for instance, with my situation, these very deep-seated traumas that I have in my system, which are coming out at night when I'm sleeping even. It's not like I don't sleep very well because I constantly have nightmares. So this kind of frequency, if we don't address it, it's so difficult to try and move up because it's almost like this anchor just keeps pulling you back down and keeping you at a lower energy. So you wake up with the intention of having a beautiful day and you do all the affirmations, you do all the meditations. Hey, Reedy! But then this frequency just creeps up out of nowhere and is like, nah, you're not. You know what I mean? And it's like surprise and like, you know, so it's just kind of those things is like beginning to really trusting yourself and trusting the information that you're receiving right now from that higher place. And again, we just started, Reedy. So again, so just a little reminder of that, you know, it's like sometimes when we get those downloads from the higher realms, it's not always fluffy and happy. Sometimes it's like, hey, this is something that is time to heal it, time to clean your house, time to clean your closet, time to clean your mind, time to do that course, time to go and see that therapist, time to whatever it is, right? And then of course we got this card, right? So it's like this person holding onto this bunch of flowers, and then the swords essentially is like mental blocks. Okay, so what I'm really hearing right now is addressing those mental blocks, like really, guys, looking into yourself and asking yourself, what are those thoughts, patterns, beliefs that are holding me back? What are the things that are keeping me from sharing my gifts? Imagine that's his gift that he wants to give to somebody, to the world, but he cannot because all of these swords are keeping him stuck there, and ultimately he can just walk by them. But we believe them so strongly. We feel like they're just like more powerful than who we are. And so we just let them run the show. So these are the mental blocks that we need to start addressing and healing and overcoming so that we can give our gifts to the world, so that we can be the light in the world, so that we can share who we are. And then the star. I love this card. Hope, inspiration, nature, the star. So when I think of the star, this is funny because this is kind of like how I want to do my North Star meditation. It's kind of how I picture that star. we all have a North Star. We all have, like, the chakras, but then we have a chakra above the crown chakra, which is the North Star chakra. That chakra essentially holds our life path, the reason why we came here. It's like our soul mission. Oh, I came here to be a healer, an actor, a writer, a carpenter. It doesn't really matter what you are, but it's like maybe to love people, maybe to heal this trauma in my family, whatever it is. So reconnecting also to your North Star. So if you're not quite sure what you want to do next year, just remember, try to come back to who you are. And we might not always know who we are. That's okay. Okay. Because it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. That's why we discover it. So beginning to follow your passion, listening to the things that excite you. How can you incorporate that with your boring job, with the things that don't excite you? Start daydreaming, visualizing those things, or just trying to bring it into your day-to-day life. So let's just say your job is to, that you're an amazing listener. That could be your mission, just to listen to people. It doesn't have to be like to change the world and save all the children from the orphanages. That's somebody's mission, good for them, but that might not be yours. Yours might just be as simple as bringing joy or taking care or making somebody feel loved. So start from those little things and try to put that into your mission for next year, because that's going to give you the direction. It's going to give you clarity. It's going to show you where you're going and where you need to go. So essentially reconnecting to your North Star. And again, guys, like, you might have multiple things that you like to do. It doesn't just have to be one, you know. But again, the essence behind it, like, I always like to think that, I try to find like short words for what my mission is, and that can always change. You'll figure it out over time, but start pursuing something. Don't just like be, oh well. I'm trying to listen if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. Cool. All right, guys. So, ready to take some questions now. I'm going to write it down just in case you guys want a reading. So I do see that Naomi wants one, and Nicole, I don't know if you do want. Yeah, you do. Okay, and reading. Okay. Cool. So, Nicola, I think you were first. What's your question? And by the way, I'm giving you guys the heads up. My energy is heavy today, so we're just going to go with it. I had some of my students the other day. They certainly showed up and they were like, damn. And I was like, yeah, I'm not my usual perky self, but that's okay, It's all good in the hood. Having stress with this guy, not sure what to do, Jack. Okay. Which guy is it? Oh, thanks, Megan. Yeah. It helps me as well. Ah, thanks, Tim. That's so sweet. Yeah, we're human, but I'm going to get out of it. I know myself, and it's very important to go through this. It's humbling, and it makes me roll up my sleeves and basically like do the work, because I'm not going to be a victim to anything. It's just not going to happen. Okay, Nicholas, so I'm assuming there's some issue with some guy. I'm assuming it's the same guy that you didn't like last week, but you still chose to stay with. So let's see what comes out. Sure, Flo, I got you down. Hey, Nikisha, good to see you. Okay, I see, Nicola. I'm reading your message. So, Nicola, one thing I will say is that women have to be very careful. I mean, listen, independence for a woman is very important, okay? I'm not saying that that's not a must, especially nowadays. But also it can shut us off from love, and women in general, we kind of need a little bit of the masculine to support us. So being too independent isn't healthy for us either. So there has to be that clear balance. So let's see what comes up. Okay, so the first card that you got is friendship. Okay, so there is a friendship with this person. Um, what that's telling me is that essentially, like, this is somebody that started off as a friend. So you have essentially no real reason not to trust them because there is an established relationship there. It's not like, yeah, so that's what I'm saying, Nicola. So I think it's just for you, you have a trust issue in relationships because when it comes to that, it what it's telling me. Hey Neil, hey everybody. Oh, Heavy's I'm reading your message, Carla. Aw, thank you, Carla. So sweet. So, Nicola, what this is telling me is that basically, up until that point, you trusted this person. Probably, thank you, Jamie. Up until that point, you trusted this person, okay? But then, the minute the relationship dynamic changed, your connection to them suddenly shifted. And what it tells me is that it's not that you don't have trust issues with a man or with a woman, whatever you're into. You have trust issues in love. And that means that you don't have very strong boundaries. Okay. So people who are hyper independent, oftentimes the reason why they're so hyper independent is because they're actually very fragile. That's what I mean. Exactly my point. You're afraid of getting hurt. So, what that tells me is that you're not as independent as you think you are. When you are holding up these walls and holding up these shields, essentially you're protecting yourself from being hurt because underneath all of those walls, Nicola, is that you're very fragile and actually very vulnerable. And that's okay. That's totally normal. So, what I'm hearing here is that at some point, though, you're going to have to learn to trust. Now, I know when you start a relationship as a friendship and then turn it into a relationship, most of the time that's the best way to go with somebody like you because you know that person and you've already built a level of trust. Again, he's been good to you. So at some point, you're going to self sabotage. You have to be very careful because for you, you're going to keep pushing him away, pushing him away, pushing him away, pushing him away. And then he's just going to be like, well, all right, bye. See you later. I'm not going to work at that. What have I got to do to prove to you? So you have to at some point give some leeway. And if you are that independent, you don't depend on someone's love for your self esteem. So the truth of the matter is, Nicola, is that you've really just been shielding yourself. You might not be as independent as you think. And I mean this with absolute love and understanding. Um, Amazing. So you see what I mean? You're saying when you talk about this guy, there is no red flags. So what does that tell you? That maybe you're the red flag in this situation, not in a bad way, in the sense of you're going to self-sabotage. You have to be careful. You got a nice guy who's telling you that it's going to be slow, who's going to take his time, who you trust, who you were friends with before. You've known him for a long time. He's been so sweet and kind, yet you're like, I don't trust him. I don't know this. I don't know that. So it's all coming from you. He's not doing anything wrong. But at some point, people can only put up with so much before they walk away. Okay, so what I'm hearing here is at some point you're going to have to let go and trust, which is why you got the surrender and release. You got a surrender and release of your emotions. Water, okay, is emotions, and you're cracking it open very gently. So this doesn't mean you got to just like go from 0 to 100 real quick, or you got to like, now that you're in this relationship, you're going to get married and move in together. It's like, no, take your time to trust him, but you have to give a little bit as well. Because if you're just like always like this, like I said, at some point the person's going to need something from you. The other thing I want you to do is apparently like begin to listen to your spiritual team. Okay, they've been guiding you, they've been telling you to really like trust this person, but again you keep defaulting back to the lower shadows of yourself, which is like, what if he hurts me, what if this, what if that. That he won for me. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what I can tell you here, except for the fact that you have to start seeing yourself as you are, Nicola. You can't like keep projecting it onto other people and not and keep saying I don't trust, I don't trust. I get it. Trust me. I get it. But if you want love, you have to let somebody in at some point. And if this is not the person, that's perfectly fine. If you need a bit of time, take your time. But at some point, you're going to have to crack that little shell open, because again, you're going to end up self-sabotaging, pushing them away. You have to allow some kind of vulnerability for the person to really see you. And again, the problem with somebody like you, maybe it's that basically you go from 0 to 100, right? It's like all or nothing sometimes, and that's again not great. So it's like baby steps, just letting a little bit of love out today and a little bit of more love tomorrow and a little bit more time, and then maybe closing again and then opening up again, just testing the waters to see how he reacts, and above everything, testing the waters to see how you react, because this is really about how you are fragile and you've been hurt and you've been damaged by somebody in the past. And now it's like you're a wounded animal basically, and you're just rebuilding that trust, which you should take your time, and it shouldn't be anything that you rush. But at the same time, you got to give and take. A relationship can't just be take or give. Yeah, I understand, Nicola, but do you hear what I'm saying here? It's basically like you gotta at some point start shifting your perspective, and you got to at some point give something, because reverse the roles here. You're in a relationship with somebody else who just never opens up, who's telling you that they don't trust you, that they don't feel relaxed or comfortable around you. Are you really going to stick around for that long, right? So again, the message here is very, very simple. It's just you got to surrender, release at some point, and build up the evidence that this person is trustworthy. How? By what they do, not what they say. Are they doing what they're saying? And also, this person, right? How have they been in other relationship? That tells you a lot about the person. If they've been kind and loving and supporting towards other people, they're very likely going to be kind and loving towards you. Aw, that's amazing. So he sounds like a wonderful person. So I think really what you got to focus on, Nicola, is just not sabotaging this relationship. If he's good for you and he's somebody, yeah, he was married for 15 years. He's a very honest, loyal person by the sounds of it. I'm getting good energy from this person. So what do you need, Nicola, for this person to prove to you that you can trust them? What have they got to do? At what point are you going to feel safe in this relationship? Because is it really that you're not feeling safe with him, or is it that you not feel safe with your ex who caused this problem, and somehow they're still in the relationship now? To grow emotionally together, that takes time. That takes a lot of time. And that also, listen, you can't get love without risk. You can't get what you want without dipping your toes again into something that may or may not hurt you. But have a backup plan. The other thing is we jump into things without like having like something to fall on, and we just hit our heads on the concrete most of the time. So have a plan. That's amazing if you think he's your soulmate. But then again, what is holding you back from slowly opening up? Again, I'm not saying jump into it, get married tomorrow. Never tell you that. But he seems like he's been slow, he's been kind, he's been. So again, and also it's a matter of just being patient, because time will tell. Time will tell you if this person is right. But when the time is right, you gotta grab it. You can't just push it away or react or let it go because of something that happened in the past. So at some point, you're going to have to feel loving and worthy enough to receive that love. And you're lucky that you have somebody like that, because you got to remember, a lot of us don't manifest something like that. So I just invite you to see him as a gift from the universe telling you that you're worthy of love. And imagine if God or whatever you believe in came to you and was like, here's a gift. And you're like, nah, it's okay. Thank you. I don't trust it. Do you know what I mean? So give yourself time. There is no rush. And if he's not going to go anywhere, that also tells you a lot about who he is. But at the same time, be careful of not testing him too much or not pushing it too far either, because you don't want to push him away. So just notice the give and take. Notice at what points can you start relaxing, maybe reaching out to him a little bit more. I don't know what it is, the dynamic, right? But you have to assess that. So at some point, you've got to give a little bit as well, okay? And remember, just listen to the signs. Your spiritual team are with you. They're giving you signs. So start listening, just trusting your intuition. You've got this. There's nothing that you need to be afraid of. Well, that's not a great start. I'm not going to lie, dude. Nicola, like having an affair with somebody to get back at somebody is not a good way to start a relationship. But that's between you two. You two can have that karma. I would never ever suggest that. You know, there are better ways to handle things. I know it was with him, but it still doesn't matter that you guys, like, you know, just be aware of that, okay? And sometimes it ends well, but again, just take your time, okay? And get to know the person, build that trust. But again, now this makes sense. You know, how can you build trust with somebody when you both started out of like being deceitful? So that's not great either, you know? I understand. You have a good connection, but going back to what I said, be just explore the time, take your time together, get to know each other, and build up that trust. Because like I said, it's not great that you guys started the relationship that way. That's not a healthy way to start a relationship. So it's like two wounded animals now just going in and trying to repair something with each other through your pain. It's not always the best way to do it. Not that it cannot be done, by the way. And this is not a judgment as well. It's just negative energy, you know. But again, maybe that's what you guys need. You know, maybe that's how you're going to heal each other. So take your time, get to know him, trust yourself, and again, give and take. Okay? Always come from a place of light and love. Oh, your affair was 20 years ago. 10 years ago. Yeah, I hear you. So I'm gonna move on, but just so you know, that's what you need to do, okay? So take your time, build up that trust, but remember, when somebody is very, very shielded and guarded, it's oftentimes because they're protecting themselves. It doesn't always mean you're independent. Independence can be misconstrued with fear and blocking things out, okay? And yes, it does make you independent. That's a ripple effect of that. But oftentimes it's because underneath you're very fragile and you actually need a lot of softness and love, okay? All right, Nicola, best of luck. You've got this, girl. I know you've got this, but remember, talk to your spiritual team and let them help you with this, okay? Naomi, your next, love. Yeah, Stephanie, keep me updated. Best of luck. You guys say hi, Peanut? I got Peanut with me today. Hi, honey. Oh, we're gonna say hi. You're gonna say hi to everybody? Yeah. Piñata. Naomi, are you still there? Jamie, by the way, did you want a reading as well? Because you gave a donation. I'm going back to see because I saw Naomi asked a question, but I missed the 2026. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to give a reading to Jamie just because he's given the donation, and then I'll go back to Naomi, Reedy, and Flo. All right, Jamie, what's your question, my love? Do you want to do a reading for him? Yeah, you can. You know how to do readings. So you just want to do a general? Okay, so just give me a second. Okay. I'm using my new cards. Just for you, Jamie. No shapeshifters in this card. Be funny if I find another one. Be like, no! I haven't had anybody complain yet, so that's good. Could you imagine, though? No, I don't want to imagine. Don't put it out there. Okay, I'm going to go with that one. They're still kind of stuck together because they're, like, brand new. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, Nikisha, I'm just doing like, so I have people who have just asked to get readings. So I can put you at the end if you want, but Jamie gave a donation, so he locks his position in above everybody else. All right. but I got you down, girl. I'm going to ask for more. Let's see. But you're after flow right now. Okay, so Jamie, a couple of things have come up. So one of them is like this indecisiveness, this battle with your heart and mind. So you got the Centaurians. So what's coming up here essentially is like, it's time, it's basically, in order to help yourself, you must release your pride and stubbornness. So there's something that you're like attached to, or maybe some idea, or like, you're like, no, it has to be this way, or maybe it's like very black and white in your head for some reason. Only when your heart and mind work together, you will find clarity and strength needed to move forward. Let go of your ego and focus on what is best for all. It doesn't have to be fair, it just has to be right. So when this card comes up, sometimes it means essentially that like whatever the situation that you're in, you have to basically like rise above that, and it can be very painful. So when we overcome the ego, it's that like, oh, I don't want them to be right, or oh, I know that like I don't want to start studying again, or oh, I just want it to happen, whatever it is. So this card essentially is like saying you gotta align all parts of you. Independence is a big one for you. Okay. So again, I don't know what's going on, and it doesn't have to be like you're giving up your independence, by the way. Okay. But what it's saying essentially is like your heart, your mind, and your actions have to align in this situation. So one of them isn't in alignment. So for instance, I think I don't want to drink. I say I'm not going to drink, but then I go and drink. Okay, so my thoughts and my hearts are aligned, but my actions are not. So that's why it's hard to manifest. So when we want to manifest, we need all of us to be in alignment with the direction. And sometimes that other side is not, is something that you may not be aware of. It could be something subconscious, like a subconscious block or a subconscious belief or a subconscious something that you might take as a bad thing, but it might really be in your best interest. The next one, okay, good. The next one is ask for help. Okay, don't be afraid to ask for help, Jamie. So whether that is for your spiritual team or for like some advisor or like somebody who can really help you, who's basically like whatever the issue that you're going through, just don't go to anyone for advice. Go to somebody who's maybe been there and overcome it, or somebody who you really trust their opinion, or somebody who you think is going to give it to you as like the truth, basically. Sometimes we need that friend, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, bro, like that's a part of it. Okay. So sometimes we hear that, but again, just because they told us doesn't mean we have to follow through with it. And again, take it with a grain of salt. But a point is, if somebody's already been there and done it and they've succeeded at it, that's the key ingredient, then I would take it a little bit more serious. One second. Option 2, also what I'm hearing is ask for clarification and signs. So you can ask your spiritual team to say, hey, give me a clear sign on this. I need it like yes or no. It could be like, if I'm meant to do this, I want to see this sign or this symbol, or I want this person to say this word, or whatever it is. Just get some sort of confirmation. And if it's a no, I also want to hear or see this. That can also sometimes help you. And what I always say, by the way, you know how you know if you want it or not, or which direction to go in, because even if you say, okay, tell me no, but then you hear the no and you get disappointed, then you know you wanted to hear yes. Hopefully that made sense. Next, you got shadow walkers. Okay. So when the shadow walkers come out, this is very interesting. So the shadow walkers are very connected to the afterlife and are part of the other world. They call you to let go and accept that you may not have all the answers or the reassurance. Find peace in not knowing. You may be in pain or feeling lost, but know that the darkest lessons can turn out to be your greatest gifts. So whenever the shadow walkers come out, essentially it's like you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're like wanting, you don't know whether to go left or right, or you're not fully committed to something where you can just fully dive in. So this is basically a reminder to make up your mind. Again, aligning your heart and mind with whatever this is. You got to find that synchronization so that you can fully commit to it and fully move into it. So this is why you're very indecisive. This is why you're very back and forth. This is why you can't make up your mind, because there is a part of you that is not fully committed to this. And if you want to be fully committed, you got to understand why and get that part of you to get onto that side. If not, then the other part needs to go to the other side. Again, I don't know what this is all about. You know what this is about. So you just got to trust your intuition on this. Now, the good thing is you got three other cards here. So we got make a wish, dreams come true, reality, joyful time in life. So you can achieve what you want. Whatever it is that you wanting, you can do it. You just got to make that wish. But when we make that wish, it's not just about making the wish. It's applying, it's doing the work. It's all of those things as well, the follow through with the manifestation, the desire. So again, it's that commitment to that vision, that commitment to that choice. You need to find balance, okay? Because there's, again, going back to this imbalance within you. So fight for justice and equality, ruling in your favor. Don't give up. So it's not always going to be easy. It's going to be a little bit of adjustment and whatever, but you got to reestablish that balance because there's something in balance, which is why it's so difficult to make up your mind. And then finally, there's a better way. There's something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you, a spiritual quest. So I feel like whatever this is as well, I feel like you feel like you're leaving something behind if you make one choice or the other. It's like, oh, if I go this way, then I might miss out on this thing. So I don't know if you can see, like, she's about to go over the bridge and there's like gold that she might have to leave behind. So it's like that treasure. But then there's like this whole new journey and there's like a spiritual awakening on the other side. And there's emotions just getting over the bridge to get to that, to a new journey. So I feel like, again, for you, it's maybe this is the thing that's holding you back. It could be money, it could be whatever, but it's like this fear of this thing, this valuable thing that you might feel like you'd be missing out on, or that you might like lose, if you like, which would make sense why a part of you is not giving that up. But just because we don't see what's on the other side doesn't mean that what's on the other side isn't better for us. So that's for you to figure out. So yeah, so I keep getting this like duality, this like in between, trying to get things to align. So I don't know. Do you have any more questions, Jamie, so that I can direct you a little bit better? Do you want to bring a little bit more clarity? Like, how do you feel? Peanut. Peanut's going to give you some advice. Yeah. Hey, Esmeralda. Nice to meet you. It's the Peanut Show. Yeah. Yeah, he's so cute, isn't he? Hey, little baby. Hey, the little Jesus. Okay, bye, Peanut. I'm just waiting for Jamie to answer. He's the best, Peanut. We just took one of the hamsters today at the vet. Gives me a lot to think about, duality and balance. Okay, but do you feel like I give you some direction, or do you need a little bit more direction? Because I can pull more cards for you if you want, but I just need maybe a little bit more clarity in your question. Piñata, piñata. Yay! Peanut! Okay, good night. Okay, Jamie. Well, best of luck, dude. He's a little peanut. Okay, I'm gonna stop being obsessed with my dog. Thank you, Jamie. Well, best of luck, dude. I hope I gave you clarity. I confused myself, I think, in that reading, but that's okay. I'm just confused lately anyway. Okay, so back to Naomi. Are you still here, Naomi? Because I didn't see her. I'm going to do faces on the camera right now. I'm pondering on a few things. I'll figure it out. Okay. Such a mystery, Jamie. You're a total mystery. Is he a mystery, Peanut? Do you want to pick a card for him? Yeah. Peanut said you got this. Didn't you, Doodles? I feel like he's going to do Gremlins one of these days. You've got this, Jamie. You've got this. Yay! He's not impressed. He's gonna pick a card for you. All right, I don't see you, Naomi. I feel like you probably left. Oh, Dudette, thank you. For some reason in your picture, I see your face now and the cats. I apologize. Flo, 24 minutes ago, it's about career change. Yes, but I need to know that if she's still here, because if she's still not here, there's no point in me giving her a reading. So I guess we're just gonna move on. Reedy, what's your question, love? Jamie, I just realized that's hilarious. For some reason, I always thought you were a guy because your picture, and now I'm like realizing, like, because it's so tiny. That's hilarious. I see the cats now and your face. For this whole time, I thought, like, from here, it looked like it was a guy's face. It's hilarious. Mommy got it wrong again. That's okay. Okay, my earrings will be on Emily in Paris tomorrow. Congratulations! And I am in a growth spur or quantum leap, seems like ready to expand and take my biz to the next level. I love the mystery of the bubbles. Yeah, thanks, Jamie. Now I have a whole other perspective on you. It's like change my reality. What's coming for the next phase of the business? Yes, please. Check it out. She's wearing 2 earrings by me. Oh, congratulations. That's amazing. What an achievement, girl. That's so cool. That's a good sign, by the way, Reedy. That's definitely a good sign, okay? So, yay! Oh, definitely do a lot of advertising for that, of course. You want to promote that as much as you can. I worked for this company called Sterling Forever, and they did a lot of celebrities and stuff as well. And that was one of the things that we just did a lot of TikTok lives on and just mentioned it over and over and over and over and over again. We were like, and Oprah Winfrey said that this was one of our favorite things, and all the celebrities wear this. Is the big best kept secret in Hollywood. Yay! So great, girl. What an achievement. Good for you. Oops. Okay, they're gone. Well, there's 3 here, so I'm gonna decide. This is like... Okay, I love this for you. So there's a lot of fire already, okay? All fire signs. So the first one that we got is you're coming into your own new partnership or contracts. Continue to move forward. Yeah, girl, you're doing great. I feel like this is something as well that I'm hearing right now for you is great to continue to just like, I don't know how you got into the movie and how you got your earrings into it, but I think that this is something that can definitely open up some doors for you. Like partnership and contract came up, so that's the words that you want to hear when it comes to jewelry. So continue to look for more partnerships and contract, even maybe with like the Netflix if they loved it. You can continue sending them your jewelry. Maybe they can just use more of your collection. This is just a great way for you to expand your business. It's free. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming you had to pay for them or they paid for you. I'm not quite sure how it works, but this is basically advertising for you, which is what you want. And millions of views, millions of eyes on that show. If people look at the jewelry and go, what is that? Of course, they're going to love it. And then you can just keep promoting it. So I do see possible expansion from here, though. This is like definitely one step in the door. So what I'm hearing here is that basically like this is going to open up more doors for you. So it's like the fact that you've already worked with Netflix, that you've worked on such a big show, that you've got a big celebrity to wear your product. It's definitely going to be more enticing for other companies to want to work with you now. So this has been a huge step up for you. It's going to definitely help your business and it's definitely going to open up doors for you. So this is amazing. Confidence, warmth, intelligence, grace. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Damn, girl. Told ya, a lot of fire. Okay. So, yeah, again, embrace what's going on. And it's like, really embodying that boss bitch kind of vibe. Like you're at that point now where you're stepping up and you're making moves, you're making waves. So but also just remember to be graceful in that, you know, because I don't know. It's one of those things that we can easily just get overly excited and then kind of like step out of our comfort zone. So stepping in with this with grace and elegance, but yet still being powerful, you know, and that also represents your brand and your jewelry, right? How do you want to present yourself to the world now moving forward? Be very careful of self sabotage, because sometimes when we get our foot in the door, our like, this is how a lot of people I think F up themselves in the industry, and I can speak for myself. When we get our foot in the big door and then we feel like, oh, suddenly we have that fear, and then we're like, I'm not good enough, or it could come up somehow, and then we self-sabotage. So holding your grace through it and visualizing yourself who you're going to be moving forward. So how do you want to present yourself to the buyers? How do you want to present yourself to people? What kind of image do you want to hey, silverback, what kind of image do you want to portray when you start making these business deals, right? So always have that like vision of who you are, and representing your brand is very, very important, and hold that no matter what happens. An exciting new opportunity. Career advancements change your life now. Amazing. So, dude, I mean, this is all very, very great stuff, and it's fire, you know, right? So it's like, it's powerful, it's intense, it's amazing. So yes, your career is advancing, you're stepping up, you're moving forward. But again, just big warning here, my friend. I mean it. Just be careful of the ego during this, okay? Because it's normal, you know, to I'm not saying that you're going to be up yourself, because whenever, you know, but I'm just saying just be aware of how you present yourself. Again, coming from experience. When really, when you're finding yourself dealing with these big companies, you sometimes can like suddenly not feel like you're enough, and then you're trying to be something that you're not. You're trying to overcompensate by being, oh yeah, I'm the shit, you know, and like really deep down you're thinking to portray an image that you think that they want to see. Just portray your image of the brand and who you are. That's what they want to see, nothing else. Don't try to prove yourself, don't try to be above or beneath anybody else. And something that I heard somebody else recently say, which I thought was brilliant: what is confidence? Confidence means that you're walking in that room and you know that you deserve to be there. End of story. That you are equal to everybody else, whether the deal goes through or not. That's what confidence is. It's like, I belong in this room just as everybody else. That's it. Okay. So yeah, so it's really good, dude. I mean, I don't see anything bad coming up for you. You're just stepping up in the world, girl. Your jewelry, and again, I see new contracts, new partnership. This is definitely going to open up doors for you. So this is amazing. The reading you gave me is so right. I'm in my hermit zone with it, and surely inside a quantum leap, reading to step into full empowerment, empowered me. I love that. Yes, Reedy. How exciting for you, girl. So you're shifting, you're moving forward. And you know what? Sometimes what happens as well, by the way, when we're changing, when we're evolving, the problem is sometimes friendships and relationships change as well, because we're transforming our frequency, and if people don't keep up with us, unfortunately, they do fall away, or they just need a bit of a break until they can upgrade or come back. You know what I mean? Oh, that's amazing, Greedy. I'm so happy for you, girl. It's the best, man. When you get to that like next step, and when you step up and when you're moving forward, it's the best. So I just want to congratulate you and enjoy it. Remember to enjoy it, okay? Ah, thank you. Yeah, so my handle, I mean, you can do at meditation underscore channel, or at Jacqueline444. If you go to my Insight Timer, there's my web page there, and I think all my stuff is there, all my handles and stuff. Cool. How fun. All right, Flo, are you here? You're next. Ah, thank you, Reedy. So happy for you. All right, what's your question, love? Piñata. La piñata. La piñata. It's just about my career and business opportunities in 2026. Cool. Renata, thank you so much. I have Nikisha after Flo, and then I can put you after her if you would like a reading. So just copy and paste that, and then we can go back to that. I know he's my little munchkin. My animals are the one thing that make me feel good. Don't you, baby? Especially when mommy's sad. It doesn't happen very often anymore, but when he does, you're the best. Yeah. Unlike your brother. Your brother couldn't care. Okay. So, Flo, I'm with you. I'm about my career and business opportunities 2026. Okay, so let's just check in. These cards are wanting to come out a lot today. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, everything's a struggle lately, guys. I don't like it. Now I remember what it was like back in the day before I healed myself. It sucks. It sucks, okay? I don't recommend it to anybody. I know, he's obsessed. He's such a sweetie. He does. He stares. Peanut's the best. Peanut's the best. Dun, dun. That's what we do when we sing. You know, like our dogs have songs. Keats is like, oh, Keats, Keats, goddamn. These cards don't want to come out. I think it's these ones. I don't know if you guys have a song for your dogs, but you should get one, or your cats. It's the best. Ooh, okay, Flo. Leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. Oh, girl, you got 2 major arcanas already. The Sun, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas, lead to success, have confidence in yourself. I love it how I'm still like down, but I can still joke with you guys. Oh, girl. Damn. Okay, you got 3 major arcanas. The High Priestess, the Sun, the Dreamer. Yeah, your year is intense. Okay. Yeah, so you got the Dreamer, which is stepping into the unknown, trying something new, be brave, and basically, I don't know if you want to change your job or something, but it's basically like the Fool's card, right? So you're just walking into mystery with like not knowing what's going to happen. So unexpected opportunities as well could also mean that as well. So it could also mean like things are going to come to you, new doors are going to open up to you, but it also, it's like it always starts from something within us. So at some point when we've had enough, or when we're like, all right, I'm done. Um, Positive, uplifting chick. I don't know if I'm positive today, man. I've been a little down, but that's okay. I still can laugh when I'm sad, or cry. I'm very good at crying. Actually, I'm an actress, so I can cry on the spot if I really want to. I can cry and laugh at the same time. Oh, okay. Relax. So, Flo, the point is that next year it's about a leap of faith. So trying something out of your comfort zone, whether it's an intention of it, doing something out that is like, may feel crazy at first, but then later on it kind of makes sense. So stepping into the unknown, trying, like, if an opportunity shows up, take it, kind of thing, because you're obviously wanting that reset, that change. And next year, by the way, it's the number 1. This year was the number 9, and it was also the year of the snake. So shedding, letting go, and then next year it's like, and number 9, by the way, is the ending, completion, and number 1 is new beginnings, and it's the year of the horse. So the year of the horse is like moving forward, just like going for it, basically. The Sun is a positive outcome. Okay, so the Sun is a great card to get. It's a positive, happy energy. It's like happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself as well. So as you have this leap of faith, don't be afraid to be confident. What does that mean to be confident in yourself? Like, I feel like sometimes confidence can come from like different things, but for me sometimes it's like, what have I got to lose, you know? So taking that leap of faith, whatever that means to you, you know what I mean? So sometimes it can mean just like, F it, I'm just gonna, try this and see where it goes. But keeping that strength, and it's like, I'm not gonna give up unless or until. And so, but keeping that energy as high as you possibly can throughout it, because that's gonna help you get through the hard times. And then the High Priestess, which is ironically the first card that we got today. Listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. So again, even though you are taking like some sort of leap of faith next year, and you are making adventuring on a new adventure, new opportunities, and you are keeping a positive mindset, at the same time, don't be an idiot. Like, don't just like dump everything and just go, F it, I'm just gonna like jump into everything, because that's like, what's the word, it's kind of reckless. Okay, so we don't want to be reckless, we don't want to be stupid, but at the same time, we can take that risk and take that leap of faith with some level of stability and understanding. Like, for example, I always like to use the example, when I quit all my jobs like 2 years ago, I had money to make sure if anything happened. Like, yeah, I quit everything and I dived head first, but I had something to land on to make sure that I wasn't just gonna like smash in and now I'm like, now what, we don't want to do that, because that's reckless. So having that like plan maybe, and sitting down by the end of this year. In fact, I'm seeing this, and I advise a lot of you guys to do this by the end of this year. This is something that I'm going to be doing a lot of. So I'm going to be doing a lot of rage rituals this year, because obviously stuff is coming up for me. So I'm going to be doing a lot of releasing, because it's the end of the year. So this is the time to let go. Okay, what are you ready to let go? What are you ready to burn away, to say, fuck it, I don't want this anymore in my life, in my frequency, be gone. Okay, and then for the next year, make a plan. So I love personally to do my PowerPoints in my mirror. So I have all my goals for the next year, but set them carefully. And not only that, but set them, how am I going to get there? What am I going to do to get there? So one of my new goals now this year is to go to that retreat, right? To go to that Hoffman program retreat. That means I have to come up with $6,000. How am I going to get there? Well, we're going to make a fucking plan, aren't we? We're going to figure it out. And it doesn't mean I can execute the plan exactly, but the point is I have the vision and I'm putting the dots together. Okay? And believe it or not, usually this stuff, and if it's meant for you, it will happen. I know it will happen because I need it. So end of cycle this year, internal changes in the next year, taking the new challenges eternally to start a new cycle, right? Yes, all this while staying careful of sum it up. Staying careful? Yes, staying careful. Careful as well, like it can have fear in it. It's more like just being smart. Just be smart. Just be confident in your choices. Think about somebody, for instance, who is making a business plan, a multi-millionaire, okay? Even though they have lots of money, even though they have money to throw away, okay? They're very careful with their money. They're not going to waste their money. And if they do, they often lose it. So we have play money, we have investment money, and then we have throwaway money, let's just say, and then bills and everything else. That doesn't count. So with this situation, whether it's energy, whether it's time, whether it's focus, whatever it is, whether it's actual money, that's the way to go about it. So you have a plan and you're confident in your choices because you know that you've really sat down and you've really made that plan. But when you just jump into things and hope for the best, sometimes it works out, but many times it does not. So this is why we don't want to just like whatever, because yeah, it could happen that it works out, but in the event that it doesn't and you're not mentally stable or emotionally stable, it can have really bad adverse effects. So having that plan and settling in and making sure that you have something else, plan A, plan B, or whatever, that's basically the way to go. Heavy on the rage ritual, get it out. Yes. Oh yeah, she's gonna rage out, I'm telling you. She's ready. And I'm going to talk to you guys about another ritual that I've discovered recently that I'm definitely going to also practice. I'm going to share it with you guys. It is a bit daring, not for the faint-hearted. But we'll talk about it in a minute. So does that make sense, Flo? But it's big changes next year for you. Big changes, okay? New starts, new beginnings, starting from fresh. I would just suggest make that plan, but also be open to that plan changing. Just because we made a plan, okay, doesn't mean we have to stick by it. The flexibility and the adaptability is very important. So what happens with the law of attraction is that I make a plan, I get into my passion, and I begin to dive in, and my energy is high, and I'm creating opportunities. But then what can also happen is the universe is like, hey, guess what, Flo? I got something better for you. It's going to take you a little bit off the path than you thought you were going to go, but trust me, it's going to end in the better place. But if you're sticking to your plan and you're like, it has to be this way, and some amazing opportunity comes in, you're like, no, thanks. I know where to go. And then you miss out sometimes, okay? So just being open and receptive, and again, trusting yourself along the way. I mean, when something's good, it's good. And you can always go back to your plan. You can always veer back, you know what I mean? But just being open as well to what comes to you, because I am seeing things coming to you as well. Oh, thank you, Flo. I appreciate that. So I'm excited for you, dude. It's a big one for you. I mean, three major arcanas. This is a big deck, by the way, just so you know. That's how many cards there are. For you to get three major arcanas in a row. Ah, you're welcome. So I've got Nicola, and then I believe who else was there? Somebody else who wanted another reading. I can't remember where they went. And Renata. I didn't write down your name, so I'm gonna write it down. So Nicola, what's up, girl? Okay, so while Nicola's maybe typing, unless she's already typed. So I was watching the Sean Ryan show. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, and he was talking to a spy from Russia. She was actually, sorry, did I say Nicola? I meant Nikisha. So just so you know, this is my writing, by the way, guys. So you can see how I read Nicola. I write like a fucking doctor. Like, you know how doctors, you can't read their own writing. That's how I write. I like to think of a doctor and not a toddler. I'll go with the doctor theory. Anyway, so she was a spy, and she was a Russian spy, and she was actually, the Red Sparrow, the seductive spies, the ones that go around and seduce men to get information. That's what she did. And she was talking a lot about techniques that they use to build up, seduction techniques, essentially. And she was literally talking about sex magic at that point. So one of the things that she talked about was essentially a method to build self-confidence, which I was like, this is freaking brilliant. So one of the methods that they do is that they basically pleasure themselves in front of the mirror. And you got to understand, we're talking about energy here, right? So you're building up a good connection with yourself in the mirror, loving your body, learning how to love your body. But they would put the image of the target that they had, and they would do that to the mirror with the target there. Now, I was thinking, what if you make yourself the target? What if you seduce yourself? Because having self-confidence, guys, if you're the person who walks in the room with that confidence, with that energy, with that glow, I am telling you, the power of manifestation is amplified. So mirror work in general is very powerful. Talking to yourself in the mirror, saying affirmations to yourself in the mirror, maybe even like doing rage ritual in the mirror could be something else. I'm going to explore all of that. I know this is going into sex magic, and it might be a bit of a taboo topic for some of you, but I'm telling you, this is something that it had that aha moment. And she said also, like, at the moment where you're peaking, you're going to say a word that is going to activate that energy. So it could be pineapple. It could be, I am the goddess. I am the god. I am beautiful. I don't care what it is. But essentially, it's a self-confidence boost that you're creating between yourself. You're shifting that relationship to yourself through this. You got to understand as well, how do you program the mind? So this is what she was talking about. It's like you're programming your mind. If you think about it, when you use fear and torture to program the mind, that's what they do, MK Ultra, okay? So you can also do that with joy and pleasure. The point is, you need a heightened state of emotional being to program that imprint, to anchor that emotion into your mind so that you literally brainwash yourself. Of course, you don't want to do it through torture. You don't want to torture yourself. So let's do it with pleasure, okay? So that, by the way, Peanut is snoring like you would not believe right now. I don't know if you guys can hear him. He's hilarious. He snores so much for a small dog. So that is just something that I wanted to share. I know it's a little bit out there, but we find it so easy to put ourselves down and to tell ourselves like we're ugly and this and that. But imagining like really enjoying yourself and anchoring that emotion within yourself, to start loving yourself, to start respecting yourself, because the way that people treat us, guys, is the way that we treat ourselves. How I show up in the room is going to define how people are gonna treat me. And if I have no self-worth and no self-esteem, people are going to treat you like shit. So we got to remember that. And this woman, by the way, her life is amazing. Like she is like started a fashion business. Her son now is like signed up with one of the biggest agencies in the world. She's been around presidents and whatever she's doing right. Okay. Like I'm like looking at those people going, what are you doing and how you getting there and like what techniques and stuff. So just a little thing about sex magic. And that's like, I thought it was very interesting. So Nakisha, I'm with you. Ah, so today is my father's heavenly birthday, and I just wanted to get to general reading and kind of celebrating him. I'm going to look in that practice. Yeah, so just look at Sean Ryan and then just put like Russian spy, and she should come up. It's a very fascinating episode. So, in the meantime, let's channel your energy and let's just see what comes up. But you never heard of like sex magic silverback? Think about creation. How do you think a human is created? It's a form of manifesting. Yeah. It's essentially like self-love, you know? Loving yourself. Woo. I'm gonna get some more cards. I just feel like we need a little bit more. You've never heard of it? Man, you're missing out. It's also like the law of three, right? In order to create a human, you need three. You need a man and a woman to create. So there's always the law of three. Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to multitask here. Ooh, there we go. Oh, Peanut, don't fall down, buddy. That would not be a fun way to wake up for you. Okay, so Nikisha, one of the things that is definitely coming up again with you, and I think this came up last time, is just be aware of. I have heard of it and been asked to participate, never felt comfortable enough with them or myself to even try. This, though, I can get behind. Yeah, Nikisha, be careful with. Okay, so one thing I will say, within a lot of like practices of sex magic, you got to be very careful who you mix with, for sure. So that's a smart thing, okay? Especially if there's other men involved, you can practice sex magic just within women. It doesn't have to be men, and you don't have to be with other people to do it, okay? But there's a lot of course, cults and stuff like that that get involved in that kind of stuff. So you just want to be very careful not to be taken advantage of. They make you feel like, yeah, be free, just do whatever, and then it can severely backfire. What was there was one, I know there's like a yoga practice that encourages this a lot, and there's a woman that I follow that she did a lot of this, and she said there's the highest amounts of suicide when within that cult because of the sex magic practices where they're like, just like, yeah, just sleep with anyone, just do your thing, just be free. That's not good either, okay? That's not what this is about. Sex magic is really just about the energy that we use of that heightened state of being to manifest, to create. So very different. Do your research on that. Don't believe anything that's out there. And again, unless somebody's making millions of dollars, making money in that cult, which most of the time people are not, don't follow it. Remember that. So something's coming up with you, Nikisha. So one of the things that I'm seeing here is, again, be aware of your environment. I think this came up last time. So what are you absorbing, what you're taking in, energies, people, places, food as well has come up for some reason. So just be aware of what you're ingesting into your system. This is a very good time for you maybe to do a little bit of detox. So, and it doesn't mean you don't see people, it doesn't mean you don't have fun, it doesn't mean you don't have a treat here and there, okay? But it's like maybe just being a little bit more conscious and aware of that energy around you because it's influencing you and affecting you. So taking a little bit better care of yourself. I think that's really what I'm hearing here is like setting the intention to really like prioritize other things that you maybe didn't prioritize before because you were probably people pleasing or trying to get put people before yourself. Okay. And sometimes when we do that, we don't have time to take care of ourselves. So we might be exhausted and we might end up overeating or eating just more sweets and chocolates because it just like gives us that boost of energy that we need to get through the day. Speaking to myself today, by the way, I've been eating a ton of cookies. When I'm depressed, I'm like, apparently I'm just going to eat. I used to not eat. Now I just eat. So I'm like, whatever. Luckily, I work out a lot, so it's all good. Yeah, Silverback for sure. There's a lot of weird groups out there, you know. Oh Lord, Spirit knows I'm struggling on this metabolic hormone reboot. Um, so yeah, so Renata, just almost there, my love. We're just finishing with Nikisha, and then I'm with you. So yeah, so I know it's hard, you know. But the problem even with food or anything, it's like that. It's like you feel good once you get over that first hump with you detox the system, and then once you detox the system, it's easier then to like manage it. But it's almost like you're still in the addiction phase. It's like when you eat a lot of sugar or have a lot of coffee, it's like the first week is the hardest, but after you get over the first week, everything is just much easier. So if you can always just get over or cut down a little bit or be more conscious of it. So I'm like, I always have like maple syrup in my coffee in the morning. Don't know why. I like it. Weird choice. But like, I'm like, dude, like, I used to have two coffees in the morning with it, and now I'm just having one with the maple syrup, the other one. And then I didn't realize I don't even want to drink the rest of the coffee because there's no sweetness to it. But I used to be super disciplined about it. Lately, I've been a little bit more relaxed, but that's fine, you know. But the point is, I'm aware of my choices. I'm aware because if you're not aware, then you just keep stuffing yourself and then you really regret it. But if you're aware, then you can at least put the brakes on it before you just get to that regret. And that means also with energies and everything else, you know, with people and stuff like that. It's like, you know, this person's draining you. You know, this person's taking up too much of your time. You know that you need to put your foot down at some point. And you know, it's like that person that just doesn't get better and you spend all 3 hours on the phone with them and they're just never gonna fucking change. You know, at some point you're gonna have to say something, you know, because then you're just giving energy to somebody. Um, so just be a little bit aware of that, okay? Because that's gonna help you out. That's gonna help you feel better about yourself. It's gonna help you recharge your system. So again, you know where to put your energy. I think this really came to you last time. So it's very interesting that's coming up again. And I think it's coming up again because it's just a reminder that this is a priority for you. It's very important that you take a little bit better care of yourself. The other thing that came up as well for you is the centaur. So the centaur is about also like mind and heart. You always have this like your mind wants to do something, but your heart's telling you something else, right? So I know I should be taking better care of myself, but I feel for the other person. I'm going to be kinder to the other person and put them first. So be aware of that again. It's like, well, you're also important as well, and you got to start giving yourself a little bit more of your own heart. You got to see yourself just as needed, as needy, I guess, not needy, as deserving as that other person of that love and time that you give to everybody else. So little things that came up. So the other thing that came up as well is events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options. Creative solutions. Abundance, things are looking very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. And a leap of faith. Follow your dreams. Unexpected opportunities. So I'm struggling with Christmas coming up and thinking about using family dinner as a jolt meal. And that last draining person energy, a friend reaching out, talking about the same problems that they always have. So what do you mean, by the way, about using family dinner as a jolt meal? What is a jolt meal? Sorry, I'm Australian. I don't know some of the terms. What's a jolt meal, Peanut? Please explain. Um, oh. Hey, Nikki, good to see you. Oh, Silverback, you're so sweet. Sorry, I'm just waiting for you to explain to me what a jolt meal is. Jolt meal is when you go completely off the program. Ah, okay, I see what you mean. So your cheat day. Yes, he is. Um, I think again, the problem is, Nikisha, with the jolt meals, there's nothing wrong with it. The problem is when it's the extremes of it, right? So, so when you want to give yourself a cheat day, don't go all fucking gung ho. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna eat 6 cakes and 5 donuts, and I'm gonna go and like eat 7 pizzas. Because that's what a lot of people do when they do their cheat day, because they're like, oh, it's just one day, it's fine. And physically, yes, that's fine. It's not that, it's the mental. It's you're going to such extremes. So I'd say definitely give yourself that freeway, but also give yourself some restrictions within that still, because you still want to be able to have that self-control. It's like an addict. If you're addicted to drugs, I mean, stupid maybe example, but like, I mean, you don't want to go too crazy, right? Because then you can overdose basically, and then you just fall back down. So again, having a little bit is fine. No, but I'm saying, Nikisha, like, don't not have it, but keeps a little bit of self control, a little bit of that, like, I still got this. I'm still in charge of my decisions. I'm not going fully crazy and wild. There is a little bit of self respect in that. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's the self love that I'm talking about. Because we think loving ourselves is like, oh, I'm feeling like shit, so I'm going to have that fucking ice cream tub. That's not self love. That self destructive behavior masked as self love. Self love is like, I know I feel terrible right now and I really want that ice cream, so I'm going to give myself a little cup, but then I'm going to put it down. Because in the long run, that's not good for me, and I know it's not going to be healthy for me. So you're still allowing yourself to have what it is that you want. I'm not a fan of like total like no carbs, no sugar, no, that's bullshit. But that self-control and that like boundaries and knowing when to stop, that's self-love, that's self-respect. Because if you look at people who are naturally thin, that's what they're usually very good at. They know when to stop, they know when to have enough is enough, but they allow themselves to have a little bit of everything. And we're talking about people who are naturally thin. I know people who are super thin and just like have pasta, pizza, cookies, everything, but they don't overindulge in any of that stuff. There's like a level of balance where they're just like, all right, I had 2 bites and I'm good. But the reason also why they can have 2 bites and put it down is because they don't deprive themselves. So when we deprive ourselves too much, then we go crazy. Make sense? And with the friend girl, you got to put boundaries down. You got to just pretend like you're busy and you have to go if that's what you have to do. You know what I mean? It's like, sorry, sweetie. Like the minute you pick up the phone, I was like, hey, sweetie, just letting you know, I've got about 30 minutes right now. I've got another call coming in, but I will, I've got you here for now. So when you set down those expectations, then they know what they're in for and they have to fit in that time. And then you just pretend like you got to go, or you have to drive away, you have to go somewhere. I mean, again, maybe it's lying or whatever, or you can set yourself up in such a way that that's really the case. I don't know. Or just be honest. It's like, hey, sweetie, I'm not feeling great today. I've got a little bit of time, but I got to go. Yeah. And I have a story with that. I had a friend who would call me all the time and complain about his situation all the time. And he would come for me for advice. I'm always happy to give advice, but then when he comes back to me 5 or 6 times with the same fucking problem and he hasn't done anything about it, I just told him to his face. I said, listen, man, I love you and I think you mean very well, but to be quite honest, I don't think I'm the person that can help you. I don't think you need to come to me anymore, because I keep giving you advice and I'm going to give you the same advice. And all I'm hearing here is that you just want to vent, which I understand, but I'm a person who likes to find solutions and grow together, not just like sit here and vent. I've got other things to do and I'm not that friend for you. But if you want to come to me and want to work on a plan and you want to solve the problem, let's go. So I'm not rejecting them. I'm just saying, if you're going to come to me to bitch about the situation, I'm not the person for you, dude, because I'm going to tell you, fix it. And if you're not going to fix it, I'm not going to put up with it anymore. But I'm a lot more direct than you are by the sounds of it. But I used to be that nice. I used to sit there for hours and listen to people bitch and moan. And I had a friend get really upset with me one day and yell at me on the phone because I wouldn't sit there and listen to her bitch and moan because I was giving her solutions. And I was like, well, why the fuck did you call me then? If you thought that I was going to be here and let you vent about this person who, by the way, is my friend, nah. I don't know where you got that information from. She never called me again. Problem solved. You know. So again, it's up to you. So yeah, but things are looking good abundance wise, girl. And then you've got, again, have a leap of faith. Okay. So what this is telling me, Nikisha, is that you got to start doing things that are not within your comfort zone. So if you want to break the pattern, you have to break the cycle. And so one of your cycles, let's just say the Christmas thing again. What is your cycle at Christmas? To go and have Christmas, and you're going to have this, right? And that's the comfort, and that feels good, and that feels fun, but then you're going to feel like shit later. So break the cycle. Again, like I said, I'm going to have this and this. I'm not going to have that and that and that. But I'm still going to have fun. I'm still going to give myself what I want. I'm still going to choose my top 3, but I'm not going to have all 6. Does that make sense? And now you're breaking the cycle. Even if it's very small, breaking the pattern. That's what you need to do. You're in a cycle. You're in a pattern because it's comfortable. It's known. It's easy, but that's not going to get you where you want to go. So you have to break that cycle, and it's uncomfortable. It sucks. Telling somebody that they're taking up your energy is not comfortable. But you're going to have your energy, and you're going to feel better. You know? So that's what's important as well. And again, when you start prioritizing yourself, when you start loving yourself and nurturing your energy and your time, you change the dynamics, which is another reason why people resist that, because we don't want to change sometimes relationships because we're comfortable in it, but even though we don't like them. So it's this weird situation. Thank you, Sue. Nice to see you. Yeah, and guys, energy vampires can only be in your aura if you allow them. So by the way, I just did a video on my YouTube today, which I love, which is talking about how evil energy spreads. And it's just like demonic energies and vampires. You give them the energy. And if you take away their food, they're going to go somewhere else, you know. So energy vampires only go to people who basically are empaths, or people who don't have strong boundaries, or people who are people pleasers, because those are the people who will give them the time of the day and give them their energy. You know, and somebody like who has strong boundaries and says no and doesn't, you know, give their energy. And again, there's a little bit of give and take with everything, but they're not going to go to them because they can't feed off of them. So they're going to go to somebody else. So Nikisha, does that make sense though? Is that going to help you? And I'm going to go back because I saw Renata sent a message before. Okay. Oh, good. Well, best of luck. Make your plan. Be 3 steps ahead of yourself, okay? Speaking to myself again. Okay, and then Renata. I saw your message. Are you still here? Just let me know that you're here. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I wish I was more of my bubbly self, guys, but a girl is heavy today. I told you guys I went to my class yesterday, and even my students were like, looking at me, and I was like, guys, I'm going through something. All good. We're gonna like do our thing, but I'm in a healing phase right now. So okay, so I'm starting a new business and have just launched the first version of our app. It supports creators, experts, and educators in sharing their knowledge and expertise with their audiences. Very cool. For now, it's a local platform, but I am hoping, I don't know why I feel like you've got an English accent, but I am hoping we can make it a global impact and help people grow. Sending positive. Oh, thank you, love. Amazing. That's exciting. Good for you. Okay, so let's see what comes up. Okie doke. Piñata, what are you doing? What are you doing, Peanut? You want to go and say hi to everybody soon? Yeah, I know. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I changed my background again. I've changed that background this year like 4 times, I think. Still not what I want, but I don't mind this in compared to what it was before. I'm like simple, man, clean. Ooh. Ooh. Yes, I painted it like 5 times. It was green, it was blue. It was 2 or 3 different shades of blue. I did like multiple, and then I went back to white with the gold foil up there. I'm just like not happy with it. Pinata, what's up? You want to say hi? I love you. Yeah, I just kept it simple in the end. I was like, you know what? I don't like it. It was too dark. So now I like the white. It's simple. Just keep it clean. All right. Oops. All right. So, ooh, okay. Interesting, girl. So, Renata, I don't know why this is coming up, but a couple of things came up. Is one of the things is just be aware of what you're ingesting, and I don't mean food, okay? Could be also. More like words and thoughts. What I'm hearing here is be careful of self-sabotaging thoughts and behaviors. So, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. So, there is a part of you that it's like you maybe because you're invested so much of your time and energy into this, and there's always like a naturally there's a fear that this could flop or that bad things could happen or like expecting the worst basically. So, and you got the kitchen witches, which again it's about what you're ingesting, what you're taking in. So think of it this way: everything that you're taking in could be poison or healing. So we don't want to take in the poison. Okay, so if you want this to go really really well, you got to make sure that you keep your energy at that heightened frequency. um, and especially during the challenging times, especially when things are like the obstacles and stuff like that. Actually, I know it's the hardest time to do that, but when you elevate your energy, you elevate the frequency of the business, because this is, I'm assuming this is your business, right? You're at least you're part of it, or you can at least elevate the frequencies of those who are part of the business. So it's a hard one, but just be aware. I don't know why this came up, but it just was something that came up to make you aware of it. So just be aware of that. Okay, so be very intentional with your thoughts, be very intentional with with what you're taking in when it comes to it, because if you want it to be this global thing, then you got to think globally. Then you got to start like, and again, it doesn't mean delulu. I mean, I'm all for delulu, by the way, because sometimes delulu can take you very far. But also it's like, oh, what if this doesn't work? What if, and then that can lower down the frequency. um So again, it's very interesting. I'm feeling like there's a lot of shadows here. I don't know why. And please give me clarification if you want to. But I got the Warlocks and then the Merfairies. So, hey, Audra. That's a cool name. The Warlocks invite you to see the truth, even if it is painful, dark, and mysterious. Do not be afraid, for fear will only control you. Instead, acknowledge the shadows within you, and from there, choose who you want to become. Avoiding the truth will only cast more shadows. And then, are you feeling a little lost, dear one? The birth fairies are here to gently guide you back to your path. Nothing is ever truly lost. You simply need time to reflect, process, and trust in divine timing. Clarity will come to you when you quiet your mind and allow the answers to flow. Be patient with yourself, and soon you will know exactly what to do. So I'm not seeing bad things here, by the way. I'm just seeing what's blocking you. So there are shadows within you, Flo, that are basically like blocking you, that are that there's these belief systems, these subconscious patterns, the old version of you essentially that is still, sorry, not Flo, Rita, oh my god, I can't speak, Renata, oh my gosh, I'm trying to read my own writing here, and that is just never going to go well, so I have to go back up there. So sometimes when we confront those shadows and just facing what we're really afraid of, facing the things, the belief systems that are in our subconscious, that's how we unlock them, and that's how we overcome them. So that's what I'm hearing. It's like, I think you need to dive a little bit deep into your mind and ask yourself, what are the belief systems that are holding you back from allowing this business to flow and grow, to really look at it from a global perspective. um, and not dwell in that. Okay, it's not about going there and then swimming in it and just like feeling sorry for yourself or whatever. It's just like just being aware of it so that you can cast the light upon it and reprogram those beliefs. Because especially when it comes to business, that's really, I feel like a lot of it is to do with mindset and shifting, quantum leaping into the version of yourself that is already successful and is already global. The version of you that already sees your business being successful and global, which I love, this is like a little global thing that I always feel like it represents the world for me, does not have these limiting beliefs, does not hold on to those things, doesn't think that it's not possible, doesn't think that that this and this and that is in their subconscious. So, but you don't know what you don't know. So whatever is blocking the business, try to find it within yourself, because remember, everything is a mirror, right? So what's manifesting on the outside is a mirror of what's going on the inside. So for instance, if I am stuck, then there's a part of me that believes that I can't get over this bump, or that I am not worthy, or there is something here that we cannot achieve. And how do I get from here to there? Is like, okay, what is the problem? Reprogram that belief system. Yes, we can. There is a solution. Something is going to come and help me out. Suddenly you shift the frequency and now things start opening up. Okay. Now, the good news is you did get the Incarnated Gnomes, which is a great card to get. Return back to your nature, to your abundant nature. Think with an abundant mindset. So Incarnated Gnomes are here to reconnect you to the ancient wisdom of earth, plants, and the nature. So your nature, your wealth, your abundance, because nature is wealth. Nature is abundance. They encourage you to return to what is healthy, nurturing, and aligned with your truest self. It's time to release toxic habits and traits that no longer serve you. Ground yourself, listen to nature's guidance, and embrace the changes necessary to achieve this transformation. So in the end, there's a need for transformation. There's a need for growth. And when you get to that growth, doors will start opening and then things will start happening for you in the business. But you got to get to that growth. Does that make sense? Go back to your nature, which is an abundant nature. I don't know why I'm singing that. That's like painfully terrifying for everybody. Not for Pinata. Not for the Pinata. I love you. You're sitting on my hair, Pinata. I love you. No love of my life. I know, he did the little fish. Not a care in the world, Peanut. You're so welcome. So right now, Audra, I'm just taking questions, unless of course you want to give a donation, which is more than welcome, but it's not expected. It's up to you. But I finished my list, so if you want, just ask a question and I'll get a card for you. Or Peanut will fall asleep. We can all just watch Peanut sleep now. And by the way, I don't know if I told you guys last week. So I've been doing realm readings on my book on TikTok on celebrities, just to share a little bit of, I'm pretty sure I probably bragged about it last week, but I'm going to brag about it again. And I did a realm reading on Paris Hilton on TikTok and on the socials. Anyway, long story short, she replied. I didn't know it was her, but then when I saw the 22 million followers, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Paris Hilton. And she ended up buying my Oracle deck, which was really cool. So just a little celebrity brag there from my side. Okay, what's next year money-wise? Okay, let's find out, Audra. That's a great question. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Renata, for the donation. Thank you. All right, let's find out. The magic peanut. Oh, I do this. La piñata. That's what I call him. Piñata. Yeah, it's always hard for me to go away because I have so many animals that one of them has like skin condition, the other one has a tumor now, the other one has like, you're like, ugh. But I have a pet sitter, a new pet sitter this year. So hopefully I have good faith in her. I think that she's going to be really good. All right, so let's see. That's okay, Audra. When you have a rescue, it's part of the gig. I mean, you have a lot of animals. There's always, but one year I had to take one with me, and like my husband's uncle, because he's paying for like these properties that we stay at, I was like, I need to bring the hamster. Like I have to give him medication every 6 hours, and he was terrified that I'd let the hamster. I'm like, dude, she's in a cage. She's not going anywhere. Like they're this big. Anyway, I think once he saw the hamster, he was like, oh yeah, that's not a big deal. I'm like, yeah, she's like in a tiny box. You're not even gonna know that she's there. No one's gonna be even aware of her presence. I was like, I just go in there every 6 hours, give her some food and some like medication, and then that's it. And she survived. She actually did really well. Oh, you have a rescue too. Yay. Love it. So I'm waiting for one more card to fall out. Just give me 1 second. Maybe these ones don't want to come out. Let's try these ones. The cards don't fall out. No, so Peanut is staying. This is the thing. It gets expensive. So we're getting a pet sitter for the dogs. Actually, going to be our friends this year. Thank God. They're going to like pet sit the dogs. And she's going to be at my mother-in-law. And then the other girl's going to stay here and take care of these guys in my office. So I don't want it to take care of like the 40 animals and the dogs. It's just too much, I think. So we're lucky. But yeah, it adds up, man. It adds up. Okay. Oh, I love that. Yay. So many animals are being rescued. You're a rescue. Okay. So, Audra. So we got Elemental Warriors, Merch Herbs, which is excellent. Warlocks. Change of Life, Queen of Gabriel, Ace of Ariel, and Four of Ariel. So you are asking about, let me just double check the question. So next year, be better money-wise. Okay, so this one's an interesting one that came up for you. So you got the Elemental Warriors. So the Elemental Warriors essentially are about fighting for something that isn't right, fighting for some kind of injustice. Interesting enough, Elemental Warriors are also the rescuers of animals. So I don't know if that's something to do with it. But it could also be like fighting for your inner child, fighting for something. So the money block that I'm hearing here is something about you needing to fight harder for something that isn't right or isn't fair that happened to you. That fight, that like make it a greater cause than yourself, can give you that motivation. So, for instance, if a lot of people who've, if you think about stories of multimillionaires who like were the first one in their generation, oftentimes they grew up really poor, right? So they're like, never again will I ever be like poor because of all the injustice I experienced because I was poor. So sometimes there's like that greater than thyself kind of motivation that inspires others. So finding that inspiration, finding that very thing, that cause that can really give you that extra energy beyond yourself, that's going to amplify everything for you, and it's going to help you essentially to make more money. So nothing wrong with making it about ourselves and wanting money for ourselves, but it's always like the mission behind it that makes it yeah, basically. But then you got the merch herbs, okay? So the merch herb means love, but this could be the love of a project, the love of a new idea, the love and passion of something. So the fighting isn't enough. You also want to fight for something for love. So like falling in love with this idea, falling in love with this new energy. So combining the fight and the love. It's almost like I said, the energy of love is super powerful, and it makes you like do things that you couldn't do before. So when we're in love with what we're doing, when we're in love with the project or with our business or with our mission, it's like we become superhuman basically. And then the other thing is you need to do some shadow work, okay? You need to look into the belief systems that are blocking you, especially like the ones that maybe the year before, the things that essentially were in the way that had manifested that stopped you from receiving that money. So again, belief systems, not feeling like you're enough. So it's not just like doing the fighting, but it's also the shadow work is very, very important. So it's like the subconscious beliefs that are underneath it all that essentially pull you back down every time you move 3 steps forward, and it brings you back down. Now, there's a big change coming for you, okay? So to change your life. So when this card comes up, and then what I love about this is you got the Queen of Gabriel. So she's sitting on her throne with that cat standing in front of her. She's just a badass bitch, a boss ass bitch, okay? Change your life, change who you are. Changing, manifesting, becoming, quantum leaping into peanuts board, manifesting into that version of you that is successful. Again, that quantum leaping. So you have the answers. It's harder to do them, we know that, but like when you quantum leap into the version of you that is already successful, she knows exactly what to do. She knows what steps to make, but you got to trust that as well, right? So changing all these things that we talked about. So it's like fighting for something greater than yourself, falling in love for the cause, healing those subconscious blocks, and then you can finally change and transform yourself into the baddest bitch that you want to be, or that version of you that is already wealthy. And I've been doing a lot of that quantum leaping myself. Like how I show up in the world is very important. Not today. You can have your bad days, okay? You're going to have a bad week. You're going to have a bad few days or whatever. That's perfectly fine, but get back up. You get back up on that horse. What have I got to deal with? What am I going to like overcome this? So how am I going to show up? So when I show up in a meeting, when I show up to a business, when I show up, I always try to show up with a certain level of energy. Do I succeed every time? Maybe not. But my intention is what's important. I'm constantly like moving in with that energy, showing up in that energy. So like I'm an actor on the side. So when I show up on set, even if I have a small job, I show up as if this is like a Netflix show. Like I'm the lead actor of this Netflix show, and how do I want to show up like that? I'm giving off that energy. It's like I'm a professional, I'm a this, I'm a that, because that's why I book job after job. Now there is money coming in, okay? We love that. Look at her, she's sitting on a cliff. She's sitting on a cliff. So it's your lucky day. New resource of money, time, or support, a change of job or promotion. Okay. So I'm not sure what you do for work, but there is an upgrade. There is definitely money coming in next year. It's going to be a much better year for you. And then just be aware of, this is something that I got to learn because I've been spending my money this year. But be aware of how you spend your money and how you save, okay? So this is also to do with energy and not just money, like your mental energy, which is really, money is energy, okay? So this one is like, when you give, you also receive, being present, being resistant to change, extremes in how you save and spend money. So there needs to be a little bit more balance and a little bit more structure in that. Um, I know, dude. Listen, Audra, my multi-millionaire this year, she's taken herself on a bit of too many shopping sprees. But what I gave myself this year is like, if I wanted something, I would just buy it. That was the way I saw it, because for years I restricted myself. So this year I was like, I want it, I'm just gonna buy it. I want I'm bought a $20 freaking deodorant, okay? Like, because I was like, it's good for you, blah blah blah. By the way, it's the best deodorant ever. But like back in the day, there's no way I would have spent $20 on a freaking deodorant. Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? But now I'm like, listen, I don't have kids. I mean, I have about 40 of them. But like at some point though, there are some things that I can look back that I bought and I was like, maybe I did not need the stupid like whatever from Temu because it looked cute, and then I put it on and it lasted for like 2 days. Okay. So you have your moment, your dopamine, but then like really invest. Okay. So if I'm going to spend money, but if I'm going to spend money now, I'm starting to learn really as well, like thinking like a person who's very wealthy. They're not going to go on Temu and buy some stupid ass outfit that's going to last like for 2 weeks, right? Like we want to invest. Like rich people invest, poor people spend money. So when I'm buying something now, I'm buying consciously more. I'm thinking of something that is an investment, and instead of something that's just going to last like once or twice, so it's just going to like die out within a week. It's like you got to shift your mindset. And so when you buy something, number one, you value it more and you're more grateful for it, and it might be a little bit more expensive, but then when you add it up over time, that $100 bag that maybe you bought, or $200 bag, saves you money, because really you would have ended up buying 50 bags that were like $20 each. Would have ended up to be the same. So would you rather have that one bag that you love and adore, or that 50 bags that you wear once and then throw away? Exactly. I know. I'm with you, girl. I do that too. Okay. So it's just a shift of mind again. It's like, I'm not into luxury bags personally. I don't feel like also, I'm vegan, so I would never buy anything that's like animal torture. But if it was like a vegan kind of thing, and it was worth, like, let's just say $500, and I really wanted it, maybe. Okay, maybe. But again, I'm not into the whole brand thing, but I understand the luxury of things now. So again, it's just like shifting your mindset, okay, and like investing your energy in the right things, because this is going to be important for you next year. And again, you're showing up as that version of you that is wealthy and that is worthy. Does that make sense? Peanut gets it. I love you, Dudush. Are you comfortable? You look like you're comfortable. Okay, I'll clean your eyes, bubble. Oh, you're welcome. So yeah, so best of luck, girl. You got this, and it's looking good for you next year. Honestly, definitely, there's more money coming in, but those steps are necessary, okay, to help you out. Hi, piggies. I got guinea pigs running around. I got dogs. Oh my gosh, and I got to do that for myself next year. Even though apparently now I decided to spend $6,000 on a course, but whatever. Um, so how we doing, guys? What's happening? So I've gotten through all the readings. I am a little bit low energy today, guys, because I've been going through some stuff. So I normally, I mean, sometimes I've been here for like 3 hours. But if anybody has any questions, now it's the time. If not, we can close up. Or if you guys want to ask a few more things, maybe one more card I'll take, like quick cards, up to you. But just let me know where you guys are at. Or we can just all admire Peanut. Ah, thank you, Nikki. You know, honestly, it's a really good thing, okay? No, I don't think it was the temperance. I don't remember, Flo. I'm so sorry. But you know what, Flo? I am going to repost this on my YouTube channel. So it'll probably be reposted in a day or two. So if you want to rewatch it, you'll be able to rewatch it there. But definitely, I remember it was the sun and the priestess. I think it was. I can't remember. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the sun. No, we said the sun, the high priestess. Yeah, just check it up on YouTube. But it was all three good cards. Um, yeah. Do you remember Peanut? You don't remember anything. I just love you. Like, I feel like you're so expressive. Do you want? Oh, you want a high five? Oh. Do you want me to do your nails? Do you want to put some nail polish? Mommy's going to go and get her nails done tomorrow. Do you want to come with me? Yeah, Sue, of course. What's your question, my love? Oh, we're just going to talk to Peanut all day. What the piñata? Oh, that's okay, Audra. No problem. But if you really, really want to, you can go onto my YouTube. I think, I don't know how else you could donate on Inside Timer. Um, but you can find me on YouTube as well. Or just next time. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. So, Sue, do you have a question, by the way, my love? Yeah, you like the tummy rubs. Piñata. So much a question, but we just love a quick general reading. Okay, let's see what comes up. Peanut, you okay? Can you sit here like this? You're gonna be comfortable? Okay. Okay. My little noodles. Thank you. I love you too, baby boy. Ooh. There, pop it out. Ooh, there we go. They're flying for you. Okay, so Queen of Ariel. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Practical and wise advice. A challenge that you can resolve, withdraw from drama of others, and have patience with yourself and those around you. Interesting. So I'm feeling like there's an effect around relationship. There is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you. A spiritual quest. Okay. So I don't know if there's some drama around you, or there's some people who are causing drama or lowering your frequency, or um I don't know, but there's something here about you having the ability to elevate the frequency for everybody else and yourself, but you've gotta nurture yourself first, Sue. There's something about you needing to learn to take care of yourself, because that's how you can show up for other people as well. And mostly also just by being the example. Um, and there's a challenge you can resolve, withdraw from the drama of others, have patience with yourself and those around you. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here. There's a bit of drama. Drama llama. Are you a llama drama? You're drama. You're very dramatic. Yes, you are. Um, and again, it doesn't have to be like super intense. It could just be like a cycle of something, or just like not, again, people not changing or making the changes, and it's just frustrating to see that. So I'm just listening. I'm not feeling anything else. Okay, that was it pretty much. But the most important thing, so that they're saying for you, is just like really nurturing yourself. I don't know what that means for you. It could be maybe stepping back and just prioritizing your peace, or maybe pampering yourself a little bit more, or buying yourself something nice. I don't know. It's about elevating and valuing yourself. Yes, true. It's quite difficult to nurture myself. Okay. So, so it's like what me and Audra have been doing for the last year, apparently, where we've been like taking care of ourselves by buying everything that we want. I wouldn't say go to that extreme, but it's like it's gifting yourself something and making yourself feel valuable, because after a while, by the way, you get over it. But it's like, I can do this. I can it feels nice. I'm, instead of like buying this thing for somebody else, putting other people first, which is nothing wrong with that, by the way, and we can get to that, but your cup has to be full first before you can do that for other people. And when your cup is full, then you can really give to other people. You got to remember, you can't give what you don't have. So there's something here about giving to yourself, and by giving to yourself, Sue, you're actually giving more to other people, but that's a hard thing to see sometimes. What? You act like I don't give you enough attention. Hmm? So then the final thing is, there's something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you. A spiritual quest. So girl, you gotta like start this spiritual quest, this journey. I think this is something that is a long coming for you, where you keep thinking about it, you keep putting it in the back burner. Yeah, I know I should do it. Yeah, I know it's the right thing, but you don't actually do it. So what I'm hearing here, it's time to start that quest. Are you gonna do the nose thing, Peanut? Are you gonna do like this? Do this. I love it when you do that. You do that, and I give you attention. So it's time to really take it seriously and actually start making a plan on how you can start doing that. And there are little things that you can start doing, you know. Um, ew. Um, so it could be like, all right, I'm gonna start like taking 10 minutes in the morning for myself to meditate, or I'm gonna start doing some skin treatment, or whatever it is that you know going to work for you. It can be something materialistic, it can be something spiritual, but in the end, even the materialistic has a spiritual effect, because it's like I'm valuing myself, and I'm telling the universe that I it's okay for me to nurture myself and prioritize my needs at some point. So it's literally a spiritual journey for you, because through this self-care journey, it's going to bring something very important to you. And I think there's also a fear and a resistance towards it, because once you see your real value, then you have to admit certain things for yourself that you might not want to. It's like really realizing that maybe somebody is treating you like shit or not valuing you. Or maybe that there is a situation where you aren't being like prioritized, and that you start need to. So if we treat ourselves like crap, of course we're like, oh well, this is what I deserve. But then when you start treating yourself with some respect and value, and you build your self-esteem, then you're like, this is not cool, man. What the fuck? Does that make sense? So there's resistance there because of that. Because you're afraid to sometimes like really see the truth and admit to yourself as like, yeah, maybe I I kind of deserve better, but I don't know how to deserve better. I don't know how to ask for more, and that's how you do it. But you start by just prioritizing yourself a little bit more. Doesn't mean going from one extreme to another. It's just something small to start with. What are you? Peanut knows how to prioritize himself. See, he asks for what he wants every 2 minutes. Ah, you're welcome, Sue. Best of luck. We should do peanut readings next time, okay? You're gonna do the cards for everybody else? Yeah? Can I have a kiss? All right, guys. Well, any more questions before we close out? Any questions for Peanut? Peanut's taking questions today. Are you? You gonna love mommy? How much do you love me? Okay. Cool. All right. I don't see any more questions, y'all. Oh. Yeah. Well, no, he has his spaz moments. He's definitely a full chihuahua. He's just because they're calm with their owner. So Chihuahuas pick an owner. They pick the one person that they like bond with the most, which is me, obviously. And so that's when they're chill because they want to be with you. But he's super independent. When I first got him, he was like serious attachment, like anxiety. And then I trained him not to have it, and now he does really well. But he just likes being in this office because he can't be on the floor because I got the guinea pigs running around, and he'll probably kill them if I let him down. So he does not sleep. He runs out in the porch every 2 minutes to yell at the neighbors. But he is pretty chill for a Chihuahua, even though my husband would rather tell you otherwise. Tim, Peanut, what color should the wall be next? He looks confused. You want red like your bed? I think he wants red. You want it red? Of course you do. This is your favorite bed, huh? He attacks his bed too. So I've taught him not to attack people outside. So what he's learned to do now to let out his energy, he comes in and he attacks his bed. You're the best. And you're the boss. Aren't you? Unless we had Augustina. Augustina was the boss. We had a mouse for a while that she was like super alpha. Always the little ones, huh? Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, y'all, for being here today. I can't believe I started to say y'all. As an Australian, that's so weird. My husband's from the South, so I started picking up. Oh, yeah, he likes to tell him off. His nemesis is, like, next door. It's another Chihuahua, so they, like, go at each other. It's pretty funny. Yeah. It's your nemesis, huh? The evil nemesis. And the printer. The printer is his other nemesis. If he's the printer go, he loses his mind. You gonna say bye to everyone? Thank you. You gonna say bye to everyone? And say, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with mommy today and me. Yeah. He's definitely not camera shy. Keats is. But no, guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up. I hope that next time I see you guys, I'm back to like my super energetic self. But for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm normally like a lot crazier and a lot more energetic. So you'll get to know me a little bit more. Jamie, so great to know that you're not a guy. I had a new discovery today. I'm telling you, your picture from a distance, it looks like some guy with like a shaved head, but then when I get closer, I can see your face, your little sweet face with the two cats. So I don't know how my illusion, but just so you know, this whole time I thought you were some bald guy with a beard. Maybe you were in a past life and I just picked it up from here somehow. But no, guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you, everybody, for giving the donation. Thank you for allowing me to be of service today. It made me feel so much better as well. It's nice to be of service, especially when we're feeling not our best selves. And I'm very much looking forward to tell you guys my healing journey, because this is such a great opportunity for me to do some inner work. And hopefully it makes me a much better teacher and a much better reader. Again, it sucks going through these things, and if anybody out there is suffering right now and having a tough time, my heart's with you. But get back up, keep pushing through, don't give up, because I promise you when you do the work, the healing and the results show up over time. Peanut, you're just ridiculous. I wish I had like a little chair up here for him so that he could sit up so he could just hang out with you guys and just chill. That would be the best. Like a miniature chair of my chair. Leave the hamsters alone. They're not food. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Aw, thank you, Tim. I so appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the love. Can't wait to see you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be here next week, but I'll try to make sure to do a live. But I am going away in a week and a half. I think I'm going to Lake Tahoe or Big Bear. I get those two confused. Whatever. I think it's Lake Tahoe. Anyway, but I might try and do a live from there so I get to hang out with you guys a little bit then. But as always, sending you so much love, so much light. I cannot wait to hang out with you guys again. And as always, have a magical day. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. All right, relax, Peanut. Jeez. Rude. Bye, guys. You're so cute. What a cutie pies. Yeah.